right? Working really hard, deploying that money so that money multiplies, cashing out. And if you can find these cycles, then you can make money. You got to be able to get into the projects and getting into the rooms and getting into the deals. This is where you go from hustler to boss. The decision that I made was, instead of making fucking 90 trades and buying all these shit coins and all this stuff, let me find something that is quite stable and bet on winning people.
What made you aware of it? It's kind of, and that seems to be answered by like
the clubhouse and literally just going in there asking.
Yeah.
And you hear the guy and he's like, oh, well, I don't know who the team is, but we're in contact with them. The bull run is starting. The shit's worth 25 million. I understand how tokens run because I saw 2017, those shits ran up to billions of dollars. So you just have to be able to get in. And I cashed out most of my pancake swap between $26 and $36, most of it, when one of the owners of FaZe Clan hit me up and was like, what is SafeMoon? And I was like, nah, bro, fuck this shit, I'm out. Because it was taking place as it thrived on the Binance Smart Chain, which told me it was it was hitting climax point when a dude that games and has nothing to do with crypto starts asking me about it. That's a big cue for everybody on the next bull run. The moment people start mentioning it, get out or start taking positions out. Why? Because the bankers, the elite, the financiers, the venture capital, they are already in at the bottom. When they start spreading the news is for them to create what? They're trying to create liquidity and market demand to offload their bags. How they offload their bags, how much they can hype it and run it up, really dependent on the cycle and on the system and the money that's being printed. Another one, if the United States gets more money circulating, the markets are going to pump. They make their way into the market. Like, there's various cycles that you can start paying attention to on the macro, and they tend to repeat themselves.
If you're someone that wants to run up a bag in crypto on the next run, what are you doing?
Right, what I'm doing right now is starting. If I'm a newbie, there's people can just look up an article that I wrote, the 11 books that made me rich, and just Luke Belmar, 11 books that made me rich on Google, and people can look at the list there. That's where I would start. Number 2 is figure out what type of lane in business I want to take. So you can take one of 3 lanes: digital product, physical product, or service. Service, a lot of time involved and sweat equity, but the startup cost is low. Product, you're gonna have inventory, supply chain, a lot more logistics, but has a decent ability of scalability. And you also have the ability to use TikTok organic as a means of traffic for a physical product. And then you have your digital product, which is similar to the physical, but with no inventory, everything's happening online. I would recommend people find a product that they can provide value in or sell in the marketplace in one of those 3 areas: services, physical products, or digital products. Figure out how to make money in one of those lanes. Do not spend that money, right? Because that money is income earned, right? And income earned is money that gets invested. The money that you make from your work is not money that gets spent. Let's say you can't afford a $20,000 watch. To buy a $20,000 watch, to them it feels like a lot. Why?
Because they earned it with their time, hours.
Because they calculate it not on the dollar amount, but on the amount of time that it would take them to earn. So they're calculating based off of time, but so am I. So if it took me 1 hour or 2 hours or a day to make that 20,000, I'm like, oh, sounds good. 1 day worth of work. I got the Rolex. Whereas another person's like 60 years worth of work. They're going to perceive it as intrinsically more valuable and a bigger deal. So what I need to do is, how can I maximize my output by reducing the amount of input? And the way I'm going to do that is by hustling in a vacuum of time, right? Working really hard, deploying that money so that money multiplies, cashing out in a generous way, in a way that you're not greedy. Generous, what do I mean by generous? Generous with yourself. You cash out and you put money in the bank. You don't leave it in the house playing. That's what generous means. Put it in the bank, take profit, you get out. And then you start the cycle again. Like, it's very simple. It's called the cycle of creating, multiplying, and preserving wealth. I'm writing a book about it. I teach people these cycles that happen at a micro level and at a macro level. And I've been able to identify a couple of these cycles, and so have other successful people. And if you can find these cycles, then you can make money.
This is kind of a personal question, right? Because I'm curious. Let's say, because I already have a bunch of money stacked up. Missed the run of crypto a little bit last time, right? Had some Cardano, whatever, stuff like that. Made some money, but I want to cash out this time. What should I be looking for?
For you personally?
What should I be studying?
Okay, for you personally?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to make it for the audience?
Whatever you want.
I'll make it for you personally. You should develop your social presence and your social awareness in a way whereby people respect you, in such a way where the deal flow comes into your awareness or into your vicinity. So build your personal brand, build your network, so that you're not out here buying projects on exchanges and tokens on exchanges, but you're in those deals ahead of time. So this is where you go from hustler to boss. Like that's the transition where it's now I'm going to build my personal brand, not just to make the money that is going to get me the penthouse, but because it's going to position me to get into the room that is going to give me the 100xer when I put in 50 grand. That's the play. And that's the mindset I would say for you, based off of missing the next cycle, but wanting to capitalize on the next one. You got to be able to get into the projects and getting into the rooms and getting into the deals before they hit exchanges, before they hit mainstream.